Work with business owners, athletes, and everyday people to optimize their lives. So not just their businesses, not just their relationships, not just their mental health and their physical health, but the intersect of all of those things. Because yes, there are a lot of phenomenal people that are experts in certain things, but for me, it's bringing all those things together and really optimizing performance as a whole. Now, amongst my clients, there is a common hypothetical question that I pose that I'm going to pose to you guys all today, right? So in this hypothetical, I want you to imagine that tomorrow you wake up and there is some undisputed research that after you have worked a certain amount of hours, some of your brain just starts to switch off, needs a break. So specifically your prefrontal cortex. This is where you do your critical thinking and your higher reasoning. It just switches off and needs a break, right? So this might be after, working more than 9 hours. It might be when you've worked a number of days in a row. But we find out that this is an undisputed fact. My question is, would you keep working anyway because you got shit you need to do? Or would you stop and would you take the break that is required for your brain to turn back on? So put your hands up if you've got fucking shit to do and you're going to work anyway. Not surprised about that one? Yeah? Okay. Now put your hands up if you would take the required break because you don't want to fuck shit up. Cool. Great. If you didn't put your hand up, please just put your hand up so I know you're alive. Thank you. Cool. So now the thing I hopefully don't have to explain to a room of healthcare professionals is the fact that this is not a hypothetical situation. This is what happens when your nervous system is dysregulated. So amongst other things, your prefrontal cortex switches off, right? And I want you to think that your business and your service is only as optimal as you are. I'm gonna say it again. Your business and your service is only as optimal as you are. If you are pretty much a drunk driver day in, day out, and you're wondering why people aren't coming back and you're not connecting and the business isn't growing the way you want it to, well, this is where I think, again, ironically, healthcare professionals are the worst at this, right? So I have another concept that I like to introduce clients to, and it is something that I call an optimal output ratio. So again, I want to see all your pens on paper to write this down, this mind-blowing ratio that I am going to teach you right now. This ratio is how much work plus how much rest plus how much play equals optimal outputs. Right? Yes, if you do not work, shit does not get done. It is incredibly important. And we live in the Alex Hormozi and the David Goggins era where work is super sexy, as Xenia thinks. And I get it. Some people would call me the queen of discipline. So I am all about working. But I'm not about working twice as hard for half the outputs, which is what most of you are doing. Now, I get it. You want to be Hormozi, you want to be Goggins, and I wish that was true for you too. But if it's not, stop bullshitting yourself. And start being honest when your productivity drops, when you start procrastinating, when you're going blank and you're making mistakes and things are taking 3 times as long as they should, right? Rest. I opened to that one before. Why is it important? Because if your nervous system is dysregulated and your prefrontal cortex is not fucking working and you cannot critically think, what do you think that does? And then the other side of it is burnout. You start to open the door for physical and mental burnout, right? And I used to think, burnout's for old people, right? Oh, it happened to me when I'm like 50. I've got time, I'll have staff by then, it'll be all good. Wrong. I was 28 when my body went into complete burnout. And I had brain fog every day, when I was exhausted every day, and every single extra hour that I worked before then got absolutely obliterated for the next 6 to 12 months. I'm 2 years after that point and I still have physical health problems, and I've probably spent about 20K trying to fix the problem. So any savings you think you're doing your body right now by working yourself into the ground, you don't know when that moment runs out. And some people can go till they're 50 and it's all good. Some people get cancer, some people get autoimmune, some people it happens at 28 and it's not fun, right? And also, I wasn't even going to touch on this, but based on something that Hugh said before, one of your biggest challenges is making your clients do the work. Guess what? If you don't look after yourself, why should they? If you aren't doing the work for yourself, why should they? And I'm a firm believer, you get what you put out. It's a common thing I get said to me from clients is, I'm not telling them to do anything that I'm not doing. And I truly believe that's why they get results when they come with me, because I am an epitome of what I'm asking them to do. And if you can't look yourself in the mirror and say that, It's a big problem. And then finally, there's play, right? So this one is less talked about. I feel like this is my secret ingredient. And I feel like someone like Lauren should really highlight why play is important, right? Lauren is so much play and fun in all the things that she does online. But play is where you get creativity. It is where you get innovation. It is how you connect with people and you build relationships. And thanks to all these lovely people that have said the amazing things they've had today, great. To do anything they've asked you to do, you need to have that. You want to scale? Great. You've got to be creative and you've got to be innovative. You've got to figure out what is uniquely me, because guess what? Everyone here does the same shit. So why does someone want to pay you? Because of what makes you unique and exciting and the way you connect with them and the way you make them feel. And that just does not happen if there's no play in your life, right? So optimal output ratio, how much work, how much rest, how much play do I need? Now, I'm not going to go tell you to go have a balanced lifestyle, to wake up and have a perfect routine and work only 8 hours a day and go to bed by 9 p.m. and have weekends off, right? Also not realistic. You need to understand you very specifically. What do you need? What works for you? And I can't tell you that. No one can tell you that. Your values will help you in understanding this. If Brené Brown doesn't work for you, I also do values work. It's a big part of my online community, so you can come to me for that as well. I might have some arguments about there not being only two, but yeah, I can definitely help you guys with that. But some of the tips I do have is, yes, for you it could look like balance. It might look like a balance of those things in a day, in a week. For me personally, I work better in a work hard, deep rest sort of model, which means I work hard I work 6 days a week, I work whatever hours I got to work, but I get my 8 hours of sleep and I have 1 day off a week. And then once a quarter, I go away without my phone, usually in nature, with no people that need to be serviced or cared for. And I really, really deeply rest and have fun, and I come back and I plug in, right? Some of the tips I do have for you in this space is regulate your nervous system every single day. If you are working with people, if you are providing this kind of healthcare service, this can't be a breathwork class once a week. It can't be an ice bath when you get around to it. Every morning and every day at the end of seeing your clients, you need to regulate your nervous system, even if it's only for 3 minutes. Because if you won't do it for yourself, do it for them. You're doing them a disservice when you're dysregulated and you're a mess, especially if you're a psychologist, right? On top of that, understand what play and what rest is rejuvenating to you. Cool, people like ice baths, they like breathwork. Maybe you don't. Figure out what you love, what recharges your batteries, and commit to how much of that you need in your time, in your calendar. And then put it in your calendar and respect it as much as you would respect a client's time, right? It has to be a non-negotiable. And again, if you will not do it for you, do it for them. You owe the people that you are